Hi, I'm Olga, and it took me almost 2 years to figure out what I'm about to teach you in this short class. So imagine summer of 2018, July, it was really hot. Both me and my husband just quit our jobs. We worked for the same company, and I was 8 months pregnant, about to have a baby, and that's when we decided that we need to start a company. And as many early stage founders, we made all of the mistakes. When you're first starting out, you're thinking, okay, how do I get clients? How do I sell more projects? So you realize that sales and marketing is actually the backbone of the business. And I would sit for hours and hours trying to figure this out. It took us 4 website relaunches and just constant work on the website to figure this out. Here's what's going on in the head of an early stage founder. First, you are very excited about the business, but then you think, okay, how do I get clients now? How do I sell more projects? So for me, I got on Upwork and I started bidding for projects there. Very quickly, I got the clients. I was doing copywriting projects, I was doing web design projects, so this part wasn't so hard for me. But then I quickly realized, okay, getting on Upwork and bidding and sending those invites is a lot of work. What do I do to make them come to me? How do I build a system in which they come to me instead of me chasing them? So that's when I realized that, I need to build a personal brand. I need to show up online and show my face so that people remember me. And people don't want to buy from a nameless brand. And the personal brand is not the same as being an influencer. So dancing on reels and putting shorts, it's not the same. You need to build a certain amount of expert content online. And everything that exists about you online is a part of your personal brand. So when people are checking you out, they will see your website, they will see your social media, and all of that content forms your company and your personal brand. And moreover, you can be very intentional about it and build the brand around the personality you want to show. And that brings us to my next point, inbound versus outbound marketing. So when you are on Upwork bidding for projects, that's outbound marketing. When you're chasing clients, when it's cold, they are cold, you're emailing them out of nowhere. But a whole bunch of people are actually looking for somebody like you. They're looking online. And when you've built enough content online, that's when they will find you and that's when they will contact you. And that's more valuable because the trust is already built even before the first conversation. So here's how the majority of people start getting their ducks in a row when they're preparing to create a website. And I have worked with hundreds of business owners on this. And I also run a Squarespace template shops, so I see how people customize my templates and what happens after they purchase a template. So here are the don'ts. Don't start with a logo. So majority of people will go into Canva and they will start making a logo. And then they will researching a website platform like Squarespace and Wix and comparing different options. After they made the decision about the website platform, they will create this trial site, start putting the logo in there, start tweaking the colors and the fonts, and writing the website content right there in the platform. Maybe they will buy a premium template and start tweaking the template itself. This is the wrong way to do things. Instead, you need to start with a Google Doc. So open a Google Doc and start writing little snippets, little sentences. What do you do? For whom? How? What are the steps? What do you offer? What are the calls to actions? Second step, you need to create a visually consistent collection of images. So literally go on websites like Unsplash and curate a visually consistent collection of images that represents your brand. Or you can also hire a photographer. And only then you pick colors and you pick fonts. For fonts, usually pick 2 fonts, one for headline and one for paragraph copy. And only then you put all of these things on the website platform and build a website. Your photos are more important than your logo if you're running a service-based company or a small firm. that's based on your personality, that's based on you selling your expertise as a service provider. Your photo shoot is more important than your logo. It comes before the typography, and it comes before colors and any logo design. Your logo really is just your name written in a font that has some character. So I figured this out in summer 2019. We had our first photo shoot. Back in the day, we led with our personal brand as a couple. So both of us working in this company as developers. And that's with that photo shoot, we launched our fourth website, and the website finally started getting clients on autopilot, where we didn't need to sit and bid on projects. People came to us from our website, they filled out a contact form and asked us to work with them. This is a photo shoot that I did later on. It's a photo shoot from 2022, actually, and you see I am even more intentional with my brand colors and backdrop and just planning the layouts and outfits and all these things. So here are my tips for photo shoot creative direction. So if you're building a website for a personal brand or small company, you start with a photo shoot. And in this photo shoot, you don't have to look perfect, just put together. You don't have to look like a magazine model. You just need to look professional, and you will be far, far ahead of a lot of people in your industry and in your niche. You plan your poses, your outfit colors, and backdrop in advance. So literally get on Pinterest and look for poses. Put all of these photos on a letter-sized format, print them out, and bring them to your photographer. You build the whole photo shoot around one highlight color. Plan around one highlight color. So let's say this color becomes your outfit color. Or alternatively, you create the photo shoot in all neutral colors. So you wear black and white and your backdrop is completely neutral, because all of these colors that are in these images become your brand colors. So you need to be really intentional about it. Let's say you go outside and you plan your photo shoot and you have like a lot of green color, a lot of grass, trees. So these green colors become your brand colors. So you need to be really intentional about it. You also need to bring props, and you also need to create illustrative shots for the photo shoot. Once you have your photo collection ready, and as I said, you might not need a photo shoot. Maybe you have a couple of portraits of yourself. You just need to curate that consistent collection of images. You pick that dominant color, it becomes your highlight brand color, and you plan everything around it. For typography, you need two fonts, a serif font for headlines and sans serif for body text, or sans serif for both. The key to understand here is that you need to create awesome contrast, nice contrast between the headline and the body copy. So just like what I'm doing here in this presentation. So as you can see, my headline has a lot of contrast. You can tell this is a headline. The requirement for copy, it needs to be extremely readable. So add more line height for the paragraph copy. Add more contrast between headline and paragraph copy. Don't bother about logo at all. Your logo is literally your name written in a cute font. The general visual direction, your visuals, your photos are more important. And then you can apply all of these visuals to the rest of your stuff, like social media, website, all the PDFs, all the downloadables you create. And that helps you create this very consistent look. So let me show you a couple of examples. So that's the simple brand. It was a template customization for a therapy client. As you can see, his dominant color is green. He's using sans serif fonts for his website. And we just wrote his name in a simple font, which is consistent with his headlines, the same font as his headline. And headline and body copy has nice contrast. We also curated a collection of images for him. So he only had his portrait. We found the rest of the images that were specific to his niche and to his topic. and the images have similar colors and they're very consistent. It's a different one. So this one is using some serif fonts because it's a website for a writer, and yellow as a dominant highlight color. And the rest of the palette is really neutral. Two more examples for two ladies. Highlight colors, neutrals, and simple font pair. All of this creates a really consistent and professional look. This one is using yellow as a highlight color, and images have yellow in them, and also neutrals and splashes of colors. But the rest of the website is really, really neutral. So you can do this in parallel, but also you need to work through your brand messaging and little snippets, little paragraphs that you're going to put on your website. So in general, a thing to understand about website copy, and I know that website copy is the scariest part in all of this, the main thing to understand is that it's bite-sized and client-centric. Bite-sized, I mean literally it's broken down into small paragraphs, and each paragraph is up to 5-6 sentences long. The smaller the better, even 3 sentences. And your goal is to create nice hierarchy with your headlines and subheadings and keep the paragraph copy very minimal. Why? Because people don't read websites, people scan websites. So in this regard, content is design. People are scanning websites in F pattern. So before they read the whole thing, they will scan it in an F pattern for landing pages and in Z pattern for opt-in pages. So don't write the big chunk of copy. Write those little chunks of messaging and headlines. And people need to be able to understand what your page is about by just reading the headlines. So what are the little snippets? It's your brand statement. Your brand offers value that benefits your audience. You can use the brand statement in your hero screen on your homepage, on your internal pages. Brand insight. It's the why behind your brand, the epiphany moment that helps you stand out from your competition. Brand insight goes a couple of levels down. So for my brand, applet.studio, brand insight is that I'm a former journalist, so I'm really good at copywriting and asking questions and client communication. So clients love that. I also build a digital product business. That's kind of my second brand insight. So if you're a course creator launching your business, I have the expertise to do that. That's my brand insight. And it kind of needs to be in your copy, in your website copy, for people to be able to figure out if they want to work with you. The hook. This is literally a sentence or a couple of sentences that will get them reading through the whole website. So you need to call them out directly, promise a result, tell them about your method, and amplify their obstacles and struggles. The transformation is a little sentence that points at the transformation that they will get after working with you. So are you ready to do this? Do you want to go from point A to point Z? Things like that. The story. The story is an about section or about blurb that you can use in different parts of your website. The story is always client-centric. So you're not telling about yourself, you're telling about them, but using yourself as a kind of a mirror. So your client needs to see themselves through your eyes. And the client needs to answer the question, why do I want to work with this person? What kind of value are they bringing? So you are projecting your whole experience into them. Very often I see business owners, early stage founders launching a website and seeing that nothing is happening. Your personal brand, and to get this momentum going, you need a minimum viable online presence and certain amount of content to make sure this content is working for you. So I recommend starting from 100 pieces of content. It's probably going to take you a couple of months or up to 6 months to create, to kind of see traction. So what can this be? This can be 5 to 20 blog posts. Do not launch an empty website with just landing pages. Launch with multiple blog posts. Then you start posting 2-3 times a week on 1 or 2 platforms. And blogging. You would also need a lead magnet. This is kind of a lead magnet, which people can download for free. And then you follow up with your audience using an email sequence. 7-day email sequence is nice. The longer the better, but just keep in mind that emails need to be available because emails need to also bring value, because otherwise people will just unsubscribe. And you follow up with your audience in a weekly or bi-weekly newsletter. These things work so well. So another question is, what kind of content do you need to post to be hired for something? There is an urge to teach what you do, but in this case, you will attract people who want to do what you do and not clients. In order to attract clients, you need very specific content. And it's expert content. It's content that shows you as an expert in what you do. For a lot of service businesses, this is case studies and behind the scenes of what you do. In this regard, your content is the byproduct of your work. So you don't come up with some interesting content on purpose. You document what you're already doing for your client or for yourself. And also, you can also add some expert commentary to the mix. And that's it. With 100 pieces of content online. So if you are comfortable with blogging, that's 100 blog posts. If you're comfortable with video, that's 50 videos and 50 blog posts made out of these videos. Your content engine will start working and will start bringing you clients. You can own and you can curate your online presence. You can make yourself look bigger than you actually are by using these principles that I explained to you. Bite-sized copy, client-centric approach, curated nice visuals that show you as a professional, expert content, and being consistent with it, sticking to the strategy and keep going until it works. Later on, you will layer more SEO, search engine optimization, maybe some paid ads, but this is essentially a strategy for an effective website that will bring you a lot of clients. No pressure at all, but I would love for you to check out my website. If you're early stage and just starting your own business, check out our premium Squarespace templates. We have 30 plus designer Squarespace templates for service providers, creatives, experts, startups, and small businesses. They're very easy to customize, SEO ready. You can start your website and get it up very quickly and affordably. And if you're interested in a custom service, if you want somebody to help you do this, check out template setup services and custom project services. I can actually get on a call with you to talk about your project, to help you organize your thinking around your business, help you with the design, brand strategy, marketing, and all the things that you need to do in order to launch an effective website.